We are in a good position at the end of the half year, and in general the outlook for the end of the year for the whole group remains unchanged. We really did well in following up diligently on the 3 pillars of the strategy. So we continue to focus on operational excellence. We want to be even more efficient in the way we work internally. But also if you look at the second pillar, the portfolio optimization pillar, that's pretty much complete. All of you have noticed we have divested our business in Poland.
Yeah, it was a good first half. So a good set of results, very pleased with what we were able to report. Strong financial performance of the group, good strong balance sheet, good cash generation. And in terms of the strategy and some proof points going forward, really encouraging. We made some good steps on the strategy, which is more about the next 6 months and the years to come necessarily than the 6-month period. But yeah, good set of results for the first half.
Now this means we can even more focus on the third pillar, which is how can we grow faster with the company. Let's be clear, it's always about the focus on growing the bottom line of the company. We still focus on the margin goal. It's fair to say that we had a mixed year so far. We clearly have significant challenges in the UK rail business, and then also on the aerospace side where we have difficult market trends that we have to cope with. So that's another area where we had to right-size our business. But if you look at other business units, like for example highway and transportation, really excellent results to half year and also the forecast. Same is true for D&E, same is true for MC, and for outside of aerospace, the DAC business really performing well. Also W&E, clearly also there we had to make some adjustments. We have become much more flexible in doing so under Neil Thomas' leadership, but clearly in order to stay competitive, also difficult measures had to be implemented. First of all, it's very important to understand, as I said before, the UK remains a very, very important part of Atkins' business. It is the competence center of Atkins in many regards. So the UK business contributes in many aspects to major projects internationally. That's the D&E part, that's the rail part, that's the W&E part, the management consultancy part. So if we look at the change of the market in the UK, we just have to realize that we need to continue to be as efficient as we possibly can in delivering work and winning work. So at the very center of what we have decided to do in a reorganization of the UK business is to make sure that this principle of efficiency, of collaboration is really pushed forward. And that's at the core of this reorganization measure. And the second thing is client proximity. It is very important to me that we simplify each and every organization within Atkins, and clearly the UK as the most important one by size, so that we collaborate better in delivering services to our clients. And it is fair to say that still we have in some areas of the UK business a rather complex P&L structure. I'd like to take this complexity out of the organization and enable all of us to be better joined up, concentrated more on delivering services on the client, and don't bother about the complexity internally. So these are, I think, the major motivators for that. I encourage everyone to really embrace that. It is change, and it will continue to change in all areas of Atkins. We will continue to adapt as we go, and I'm sure that besides us having clearly the profitability of the organization in focus, the competitiveness of the organization in focus, I'm absolutely sure that as we implement these changes, that we will have more fun and success in order to work on a day-to-day basis with our clients.
The Middle East had a great first half. Over the last couple of years, we've been really focusing that business down to 3 geographies and 3 sectors. So we're focused on Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Qatar, and then 3 sectors of rail, infrastructure and property. We've seen some great rail wins over the last year or so. The Doha Metro Gold Line came in this last 6 months. We've got a re-emerging property market where we've got a great brand and reputation in that market. Dealing with a number of the players, actually we dealt with a number of years ago when the previous property boom was going on in the UAE, and we're re-engaging with those guys. So good prospects for the business. They've been very focused on cash over the last few years as well, right from the beginning of projects all the way through delivery and closeout. So a good all-round performance from the Middle East and some great prospects ahead. Asia Pacific again had another good first half. Very clear strategy with the Asia Pacific team, trying to diversify our offering in Hong Kong and in China and reaching out into the wider Southeast Asia region. We're really pleased last year to bring the Confluence team in. Clearly F&G and Confluence and the pre-existing Atkins business now working very well together in the region, with some proof points of some great contract wins, the West Kowloon contract that we couldn't quite frankly have won had we not brought those three teams together.
North America has reorganized. So it has organized it in 5 market-facing units. And behind that we have the technical professional organization where about 1,800 Atkins engineers come together in a much more simplified way. That has been a brave move. So for example, the utilization figures in America clearly went up. And also the win rate went up, because now all of a sudden it doesn't matter in what office the client knocks at the door. We are capable now really to get together the most relevant people for this specific client, for this specific problem, for this specific project, out of all kinds of offices where they happen to sit with this TPO structure.
F&G, as you know, present in a number of our regions, had a good first half, really working well with the Atkins group, trying to bring different skill sets to offer a wider offering to the clients, really helping. They've got very strong private sector clients and helping us bring work from the rest of the Atkins group to those clients. So yeah, very good collaboration now with the F&G business across the group. Our approach to energy has been very targeted, operates in 3 very strong markets: oil and gas, nuclear and power and renewables. And we've been very deliberate about our investment plans. We identified it a couple of years ago at the outset of the strategy as one of our most significant and fast-growing businesses. And we continue to invest in that both organically, bringing resources in, and also on M&A. And clearly a couple of good acquisitions came into the group.
The energy team in all these 3 areas, nuclear as well as oil and gas, as well as renewables and power grid, has found ways to differentiate services and competencies so that we can command higher margins in these businesses while providing excellent service. We all have seen the successful closure of the acquisition of the Nuclear Safety Associates company. We welcomed those colleagues in summertime into the team. And now very recently with Houston Offshore Engineering, we got the world-renowned experts for floating platforms on board. All that adds to growing momentum of the energy business. It's highly recognized. I had a huge pleasure to again visit the ITER site, the fusion reactor site in Cadarache in Provence, to see finally this technology, fusion technology, being built in a grandiose kind of environment there. Lots of partnership approaches with our French colleagues from Assystem. And we took analysts and investors with us on this trip, and they were really impressed about the complexity of engineering that Atkins is mastering here, and in a way writing the engineering book, how fusion reactors in the future will be built. That's fascinating. If I look back the last 6 months, and if I look forward towards the end of the year, I'm really proud about what we have achieved. And even more so, if you look at the projects that we are winning left and right, big and small, this is real cool stuff. It's just fun to work for those clients. It's fun to help to solve these problems.
A great set of results for the first half, really underpinned by very strong performance in our Middle East and energy business. Those businesses have really delivered well, and we're well set for the second half and moving into next year.
It's a great company to be with. I feel privileged to lead it, and I feel privileged to work with so many smart people.